What's up guys, Dave here. We're going to look at if it's okay for companies to just keep producing sequels instead of developing new IP. From a company perspective, producing a video game is not about producing a form of art, it's ultimately about selling content. With this, they can generate the funds required to cover all the costs associated with developing their games. With this comes the substantial amount of money required to produce AAA games. If we look at Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nintendo's child for its new Nintendo Switch, it's reported that the game had a development budget of $100 million. Now, because of this budget, the game would require to sell 2 million copies just to break even with the development fund. Another cost to consider when producing a game is marketing. Companies are now spending a substantial amount of money to market their games. The general consensus for most AAA games is that they spend approximately the same amount of money on marketing and distribution as they do on actually developing the game. Some large franchises such as Call of Duty have been known to spend up to 5 times the development budget on marketing. There's also long-term costs to consider, such as development costs for fixing bugs post-release and the cost to run service to host any online aspect of the game. These costs have to be accounted for by the game and DLC sales. Due to this, the gaming industry often considers franchises more valuable than new IP as they're relatively low risk to produce. The game mechanics and world building are already in place, so locational tweaks and weapon upgrades are often all that's required to sell the new game. Sequels often get away with a lack of new features due to player familiarity to the game world and the story. This low risk strategy has allowed the gaming industry to roll out yearly iterations of the same games and generate quite a healthy profit. Unfortunately, it's led to a rather stale period in gaming, especially console gaming. Part of the problem can actually be attributed to us gamers, and we seem to be reluctant to spend our hard-earned cash on new IP. We gamers crave new experiences, being given the opportunity to explore new worlds or become emotionally attached to new interesting characters, but we just won't take those risks. We buy the same old games over and over, and we often complain that they become quite dull and tiresome. We need to embrace these new games, and it looks like we might have actually taken the plunge, as 2017 produced some really interesting IP such as Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last Guardian. Both of these games offered something that was different from what we've seen in a long time on consoles. We had beautiful worlds full of life and depth, exactly what we had been asking for. With both of these games being so well received, hopefully the industry has taken notice and will start taking some risks with new and exciting IP, and more importantly, when they do, make sure they market it well. There was another highly acclaimed game that offered the same level of immersion. Unfortunately, PlayStation's Neo was highly acclaimed, yet it almost bankrupted the company. It just didn't sell enough copies to cover the cost of producing the game. So we come back to our initial question of, is it okay for the gaming industry to just keep making sequels? I think we've reached the point where it's not okay just to focus on sequels. We all enjoy sequels to the games that we know and love well, but we also want some new IP that will excite us and just re-establish our love with the gaming industry and what it's meant to be about, becoming immersed in a new environment and exploring exciting new worlds. It's time for the industry to put sequels on the back burner for a while and concentrate on some new IP. Let's allow developers to actually focus on what excites them, express themselves through their art, because what excites them ultimately excites us as well. Don't allow them just to stagnate and produce the same games with the same mechanics year on year. Well, if you've liked the video guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, take it easy, I'll see you next time.